There are several bills that have been floated in Congress regarding abortion. A Democratic bill would codify and therefore legalize abortion nationwide. Competing GOP bills would ban abortion nationwide. How would you vote on those bills and why? Francis, I'll start with you.
So I support codifying Roe versus Wade at the federal level. And we need to talk about this on where we are as a country and how it affects Central New York, because it does affect Central New York. What the courts did was now they allowed the government to make this decision, to take this decision away from women on whether or not to bear a child. We now have forced pregnancies. This kind of government overreach should scare any American and any Central New Yorker, and it treats women like less than adult human, taking their freedom away, putting their lives at risk. And states across the country are banning abortion with no exceptions, and that could affect here in Central New York. Syracuse Right to Life said my opponent was consistent on all of their key issues. One of those key issues is a national ban. And then my opponent said he didn't remember how he responded to that questionnaire. So I think we need to know right now how you responded to that questionnaire and what you're going to do to protect this critical right.
Respond.
Sure. You know, it's right out of the gate, my opponent is repeating a bunch of lies that you've been fed with millions and millions of dollars of dark money over the last few months. I've always been clear about my position on abortion. I am pro-life, and I will protect the exceptions for abortion on rape, incest, and life of the mother. And I've said that consistently throughout the entire campaign. And I've said it in Q&A with Chris not too long ago. And so the key word that you should trigger on from my opponent is the word fear. And the only thing that they're really trying to do is to instill this fear that really doesn't pass the test. And they're doing it with lies. They're doing it with lies about my position. They're doing it with lies about what's important to the people and the voters of Central New York. We all know what we're experiencing at the gas pump in the grocery store. We all know that crime's a problem. The only reason we're talking about abortion as the leadoff question is because they don't want to talk about these other critical issues.
So back to the original, the bills to ban abortion or codify abortion, would you support or vote against either of those?
Again, just repeating my position because it obviously gets badly distorted, is that I don't think the federal government should have a federal level ban. We just left that, and the courts kicked it back to the states where it should be decided. The people of New York will make that decision. The truth is, it doesn't matter which one of us is elected, nothing's going to change regarding abortion in New York State.
Not true.
That is true.
Not true. And you want to talk about fear. On that morning, I received a text message from my mother that said, "This is frightening." And I think women are afraid across the country by now having their lives put at risk. We're seeing horrific cases throughout the country. Young girls who were raped, who cannot have access to a safe and legal abortion. That should cause fear, and it could be overturned. We could have a national ban here. And I'd like to know how Brandon Williams responded to that questionnaire from Syracuse Right to Life. I mean, it's a simple question. You changed your website. So you haven't been consistent. There's been some whitewashing that's been going on. My stance is to return to what we had under Roe for the past 50 years.
Are these the rules that we're following?
You can finish, please.
So I think the real issues for the people of Central New York are about crime, they're about inflation, they're about providing for our families, and the recession that's been caused by Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi, who he will vote with 100% of the time. We can't have any more of that.
We'll get to some of those issues. So you would vote against, for example, Lindsey Graham's bill?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
And I've said that multiple times.